Hey, how's it going there, your old pal Jim, super picker flipping duo? Excuse me, we're shipping on Tuesday. Didn't do a video yesterday because we had to get up to Wilmington early-ish. We had to get up there by like 10:30. We had some shipping to do in the morning, which means we had some drop-offs to do in the morning. Before leaving, we had to leave about an hour early. So we had some stuff to do in the morning that we couldn't get distracted by making content, which does slow us down. So now we can be slowed down a bit because we are going to Baltimore today, and that'll be another video. So I got a kitty meowing at the door. I'll probably open that in a minute to let him in. But we're gonna ship today. We're gonna talk a bit about upcoming shipping rate changes, promotional promotions changes from eBay, how they're changing, how they're doing their um, advertising rates on promotion listings and promoted listings, and yeah, should be fun. Let's get into it.
Come on, really?
What? All right, so let's start shipping. We've got first up pair of Heelys with the rollers in them. This one took a while to sell. Didn't think it would take that long. But we paid $8 for the shoes. Sold them for 33.75. Sorry, 33.75. They're going to California, which sucks. We are going to put them in a box. Yeah, we'll box it and get them on their way. I don't do a whole lot with shoes, just shoes in a box. Because these are Heelys and they do have the rollers in the bottom, I will put some paper in there. Um, but it's really minimal. Just like that, just so they're protected a bit from, being thrown around. And that's already set to the perfect height. Oh, okay. So yeah, one of the things that was announced, is always announced at the end of the year, is shipping rate changes by the three major carriers. They all announced their shipping rate changes. USPS always raises their rates, right? That happens pretty much twice a year. Um, and it is what it is. Usually they raise their rates. They have their holiday rates from early October till mid-January. They lower their rates back down to previous rates, and then they raise their rates end of January till, June-ish, July-ish. And then they may raise their rates. So that one is like sometimes they raise their rates, sometimes they don't. Um, Typically they do. So now they're going straight from holiday rates to a raise of their rates of the previous. So the holiday rates will go away, then their new rates will step in, but they're not raising from their holiday rate. They're raising from their pre-October rate. So it's going to go up. The numbers, if you research it yourself, and I'm not going to go over specific numbers because they don't apply to eBay sellers, because we buy our shipping through eBay at commercial plus rates, so different rules apply to us. Our rates will go up, yes, but not retail rate. it's much different. So we're going up. Um, it's a good jump, their retail rate. Um, but it's not enough for me to change anything. So I may I mean if I increase $1, that might, I don't know. I don't think I'll even do that. It'll be under 10%. So where I'm at with my profit margins, it doesn't hurt me a whole lot, so I'm okay. I could probably hold off one round. Next round I'll probably have to look at, bumping my um prices a bit. Next up, we sold this Case Logic trunk organizer with the cooler in the middle. Sold this for 20 bucks. I picked it up at the bins. It's super, super light. You can't damage anything during shipping, so I'm just going to fold up the sides, throw it in a bag, and away it goes. Um, this is shipping to Florida. So USPS, they're raising their rates. That always happens. What is concerning to me, and what I have to do more research on. So I thought I had a handle on it, and I thought it wasn't a big deal. And then I kept reading FedEx, um, their rate changes. Because FedEx and UPS are going to a maximum dimensions on their uh, ground services, which includes economy, ground, home delivery, express, all of that. So basically, from what I read, if it's big enough to fit on a pallet, they're going to charge pallet rates. Um, and what they consider big enough to fit on a pallet is over 48 inches on one side, over 30 inches on the other side, more than 150 pounds. And I'm like, not a big deal. I can do that. 100% of my stuff is under that, right? Then I kept reading, and there are now different rules for cardboard boxes and poly mailers. And now I have to figure out, and this is why I'm not getting into specifics because I still have to wrap my head around it. And I have till the 5th because I think that's when it changes, the 5th or the 6th. So poly mailers are going to be subject to different size restrictions. So I believe anything over 20 or 22 inches is going to be surcharged on FedEx. And it's pretty hefty from what I understand. And that still, I have to, but yeah, definitely go check it out. Um, don't just stop reading when you see, because if you go and look, you are going to see like max 48 first side, max 30 second side, max, weight and all that. And you're like, oh, this isn't a big deal. Scroll. There is more. And it's a bit confusing to me. And it's because, I was reading it late at night too. So I'm sure if I go back and read it now, it won't be as confused. But I really have to sit down with a cup of coffee and get to know what's going on. So 17, 12. So that's coming. If that happens, then basically what'll happen for us is any of the larger games, if I'm understanding what I'm reading, any of the larger games like the old school Risk boxes are like 22, 23 inches long. Anything long like that. Mindflex Dual, I'm looking at it now, is a longer box. Um, I can't bubble wrap though. Mindflex Dual, I don't think I would anyway, because it's a high value game. But those like that 1980 Risk, I usually sell for like 30, 35 bucks. I bag those. Those will probably now go in a box because the box dimensions are, 48 inches. Um, so I can, I'll pay an extra dollar or whatever because the weight will be that much higher, but I'll save because the surcharges are like, from what I'm reading, like 12, $15. Like it's crazy. Um, they're really going nuts here. So next up, we've got this Jiminy Cricket plush. Sold this guy for $16.50. And they want to get it by January 6th. We should be able to do that. Let's see, where is it going? Colorado? Ground Advantage should be able to take care of that. Let's see, that will work. Yeah, so this is the time of year where eBay sellers, or all sellers on any platform, because it applies to everybody. If you're sending boxes into Amazon, it applies. If you're, you know, merchant fulfilling on any platform, it applies. Um, and if you're selling online and you're going to the post office with your boxes and paying the cashier to ship your stuff, you are costing yourself a ton of money. I mean, easily triple. Stop doing that. Use the eBay system to buy your labels, or whatever system whatever platform you're on. Use their labels. They negotiate pricing for you to save you money. It's not the end of the world. And like, they're not using my credit card information if you're worried about that. Like, the eBay, I'm using my eBay funds, like what hasn't cleared yet, to pay for my shipping. So it's not touching my bank account or anything like that. Like, just use the eBay shipping. Next up, we got this Pampered Chef collapsible bowl. Sold for $22.50. I think I paid $2 or $3 for it. It's going to Nebraska, which, sucks, but such is life. What are you going to do? For some reason, Nebraska, Colorado, like those Midwest states get treated like they have beachfront properties. So, um, don't know what the deal with that is. But again, nothing here can be hurt, but I am still going to bubble wrap it. Just, just to show the customer that we're putting in some kind of effort to protect their product, even though I don't think it's necessary at all. But you want eBay customers to have a positive experience so they keep coming back to eBay to buy more stuff. So, and that's not a selfish thought. Like, I don't think for a minute that they're coming back to my store. Like, I think I get very little return customer traffic. 15 ounces. Oh, let's ship it at a pound. That's fine. Yeah, so shipping rates going up. That happens every year. That's not the news. The news is not USPS is raising their rates. That happens every year. Not that FedEx and UPS are raising their rates. No. The big thing is FedEx and UPS are now putting a maximum on their ground services. So you can only send so much weight and dimension via ground. That part doesn't apply to most of us because it's fairly large. But the difference between corrugated cardboard packaging and soft pack, meaning plastic bags, basically. Some people ship in just bubble wrap or just shrink wrap. That applies to soft pack as well. Um, that's being treated differently than cardboard boxes. So there's a lot to consider there. And it doesn't explain if, oh, we're shipping out this Tervis Simply Southern sea turtle, starfish, USA flag, 24-ounce cup. Sold this guy for 15 bucks. We paid $3 for it, I think. So yeah, that's the big news. I don't know if that applies to commercial or not, because when these services make their announcements, I haven't figured out a way to see like commercial rate stuff. Like when eBay shares their announcements of these rates, they share the retail announcements. Um, because that's what gets blasted. Because that's what these services care about. That's where they make their money, right? They don't make their money on us. Um, we're not we're not the money makers. We're the ones, the eBay sellers, the retail customers, the Targets, the whatever stores, the internet retailers. We're the ones just keeping them busy. But they're making their money on retail. 13 ounces. So this is shipping to Florida, which makes sense. FedEx economy is still cheaper at first class. I've got free shipping back on. We're not doing any kind of calculated shipping rate. Um, so when I do free shipping, it's free shipping via economy services. So FedEx economy is the first service that comes up, and so that's usually the cheapest. If something is a few cents more and it'll get there quicker, then I'll send it that way. But yeah. So we've got this little Fisher Price Bright Beats Frankie. Sold this guy for 25 bucks. Bought him for 2 or 3. Um, make sure the battery is pulled. Yep. Okay. Um, Stuff like this will go in a box, and I will still bubble wrap it. So that's that. So, promotional listings. Let's get into that. if you watch other eBay YouTube channels, I'm sure you've heard promotional promotional listings, promoted listing are changing. eBay's getting greedy. Everybody's freaking out. I'm not one of those. Because so many of my items sell via promoted listings anyway, it doesn't really affect me because I sell a lot of everyday items. Just it's a high competition store that I run, so there's really nothing that I don't promote because I'm usually on items that have at least 40 to 50 other sellers. So I feel like I have to promote at that rate. Now I only promote at 5%, but I promote across the entirety of my store. So easily above 90% of my items are sold via promoted listing anyway. So I'm not going to change anything. And I think other sellers are going to either stop promoted listings because let's go back. What's going on is eBay has decided that instead of when somebody clicks on your promoted listing, your sponsored ad, and they buy that product, whether they buy it right then and there or they come back to it within 30 days, that's when they charge you your promoted listing rate. Now it's whenever that item, promoted listing item is clicked and anybody buys it, they're charging you that rate. So, a lot more opportunity for them to charge you for that promoted listing rate. Like I said, I'm being charged no matter what, so it doesn't really affect me. But yeah, I can see where some people would be upset by that. And some people are going to say, I'm not promoting my listings anymore. And a lot of sellers are not. A lot of sellers are going to say, well, I'm going to promote, but only at like 2%. Okay. Like I've been at 5%. I'm not coming off 5%. I think that's going to be a greater advantage to me. And this is solely because of what I sell. If I were selling rare items, I wouldn't promote at all because I don't need to, because I'm typically going to be the only seller, right? It doesn't make sense to promote. But when you're selling stuff like this, 4.5 quart Revere ware, just making sure I got the right one. Yep. Um, there's probably, I don't know, 100 other sellers that have a similar Revereware branded stock pot. So yeah, I want to make sure that some of the time I'm on that first page of listings towards the top. And if I have to give up 5% of my sale to do that, to sell it within a week, then I will. Because my margins allow me to do that. So the best way to combat eBay fees is to buy better. Buy smarter, give yourself enough margins to pay for those fees and still take advantage of the programs that help sell your items on their platforms. Because no amount of complaining is going to change anything, right? Like eBay and other platforms, once the decision is made, that's kind of it. They're not here to listen to sellers. Like, that's not, I don't have a box. All right. this will go to the side. We know what box we're putting it in. We'll print the label. I actually already got the dimensions in there. This is how busy we've been. This was this weekend. Adjusting prices Christmas Eve. That's from. So now all we've got left are board games. And we've only got 5. So we'll jump into those. Deluxe Parcheesi sold this guy for $24.75. Yeah, so we're not doing anything differently with promoted listings. At least for now. We're not gonna panic. We never panic. We're gonna let things unfold, leave things at status quo, see how it goes. And part of that is you never really understand the way something affects you and your business until it affects you. You know what I mean? Like you can read something and interpret it the way that you read it, but until you actually experience it, you don't know, right? So we'll just leave things as status quo. If we see that, whoa, we used to make $12 on this board game, let's say. Now we're making $10. So every time we sell this game, we're losing $2 and we haven't changed anything. Then yeah, maybe I will either raise my price or drop my promoted listings. That won't be the case because, like I said, we sell virtually everything promoted listing anyway. So not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. So yesterday we went to Wilmington. My youngest son, is part of the Delaware ODP soccer program. What ODP stands for is Olympic Development Program. And they had their soccer camp, which basically from their soccer camp in each age group, they choose the top 20 or 22 kids to go to the yearly tournament, which is either the regional, which is either in Pennsylvania or South Jersey. I'm not sure. To compete against the Olympic development kids from other states, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maryland, New York, I think Connecticut, and then New England, like that northern has their own region. I think that's 2 pounds. I wasn't paying attention. Yeah. So he took part in that. They did a lot of drills the first half of the day. Then they broke for like 3 hours. We got to do some thrifting. We went to like 2 or 3 thrift stores. Didn't pick up a whole lot. Like it really wasn't that great. I'm really not paying it. This is why this takes so much longer, because I'm talking and not really looking at what I'm going through the motions, but I'm not paying attention to anything. 2010 2. So yeah, the first half of the day they did drills. He did okay with those. Um, he, I would say he was like middle to top third of the pack in drill performance, meaning he understood the direction of the drill. He didn't make mistakes in actual execution of the drill, and he performed well, didn't make mistakes in the actual performing of such drills. Next up, we've got this Disney Scene It. Is this the 2000? No, 2000. Not Disney Scene It. Game of Life 2007. Sold this for $27. Yeah, so he did well. Then we went thrifting, got some food, came back, and then the second half of the day was basically there were two age groups: the younger boys, older boys. So two teams were there, and they basically scrimmaged against each other for an hour and a half. So what would be a full game, pretty much. Um, and he did well. Um, they didn't sub him off once the entire game, which to me says something about what they see. So um, they liked him on the field. They didn't see a reason to pull him off and let another kid take his spot. To see what they could do in his spot. They liked him where he was, so I'm feeling good about him going to the tournament to represent the state. That's going to be announced, I think, in a couple of weeks. And put this over here. And yeah, we'll see what comes of that. Now, if he gets selected to represent Delaware, then what happens at that tournament is the regional coaches all get together and they go around and they look at each team while they're playing each other, and they pick out the 50 best kids in the region to then go to the regional camp and represent this region, um, which I don't know if they consider this mid-Atlantic or I don't know, but and then those kids represent our region. From that camp, they break it down again to the top 20 or 22 or whatever that is to represent our region, and the regional tournament, the next part of the tournament, where we go up against the South region, Southeast region, the Midwest region, the West, Northwest, West, so on and so on. So it just gets bigger and bigger. And then there's the Nationals, which is the next level up. So it just keeps progressing as we go through. So right now we're on step, I guess, 3. So, which is good. I mean, he's doing well with it. So this guy is shipping to Arkansas for $8.25. So that was fun. It was an all day thing. We got there about 10:30. I'm sorry. Yeah, about 10:30. And Didn't leave till about 5, got home about quarter after 6. It was a long day. Game of Life 50th anniversary. This one I had higher hopes for. Sold it for $26.25. It's going to New York, so that's okay. That's good. Won't cost much to ship at all. So yeah, that's that. That was our day yesterday. Um, and that's why there was no video because we were out doing kid stuff, and then our two younger kids have a indoor soccer tournament, soccer league starting in a couple weeks. My oldest has an adult soccer league that he joined with some of his coaching buddies. I don't like how that fit in that bag, the last one, so we're gonna do these bigger bags. Um, that's starting this week. We don't go to watch his stuff anymore because he's an adult, and I would feel like that would be embarrassing for him to have his parents come and watch him. So we let him do his thing. And if there's anything exciting, he can just tell us about it afterwards. So today the plan is we're going to go to the Baltimore area, check out those thrifts, see what they have. We've been there before, but we're going to try to hit some different ones. And hopefully come back with a bunch of stuff. That would be nice. Because we are running thin on inventory. It's like our death pile is literally just one one tote, one like 30-gallon tote here. So we're really getting down to it. Next up, Game of Life. These things sell like we can't keep them in stock. 2002, sold this for $27. This one, customer says purchasing as a gift, please pack securely in a box with plenty of padding and don't include a receipt. Don't include a receipt. Ship as soon as you can. So we will honor that, even though it's going to cost us a bit more. They want it shipped in a box, we'll ship it in a box. It's not going to be a plain box, but it'll be a box. It won't be a used box either. So, there's that. So yeah, anytime a customer requests us to box something, and of course pack it well. Yeah, we always pack stuff as well as we need to. We don't underpack, we don't overpack. We pack based on experience and what, overwhelmingly arrives in good condition. And so the pack well comment is unnecessary, but I guess for some sellers it might be. I don't know. I can't recall a time where I've ever received something from an eBay seller, like a smaller set, like a seller like me, not like a mega, like a shipping supply. Like those guys are big time sellers. They sell specific products, anytime I've ordered like a gift off of eBay for somebody, I can't recall a time where it's been not packed at least decent and arrived in decent condition. But dimensions here aren't going to be all that different. These typically ship 3 pounds. The dimensions are 17, 11, 3. Because it is a box, it'll probably ship 4 pounds. And I'll probably have to give up an extra inch height because these Walmart smalls are 17, 11. So those two dimensions would be the same. So yeah, I'm gonna have to give up some height, but here we are. All good. Wait up. Yeah, 4 pounds. My finger, 17, 11. 4 on the dot. And got some flaps. You know how I love my flaps. So this is gonna, let's see, where's it shipping to? Nevada, of course. 1102 to ship it, which is what it would have cost me anyway. So it didn't cost me anything more to ship it except the price of the box, which was like $1.25. So I'm okay with that. Makes the customer happy. I didn't have to negotiate like a best offer with them or anything like that. Item is sold. And we got one more. Disney Seen It. We had one of these sitting on the shelf for like 5 months. We listed the next one we had waiting, and it sold within a couple of days. $24.75. We're listing them lower than typical. Not, I mean, normally we sell $26, $25, $27, somewhere in there. So we're not giving up a lot, but yeah, now that they're selling, we may try to creep the price up, but I always look up, like, I don't go back to my sales history and sell similar on the items that I had, like that Game of Life, right? I'm not going to go back to my 2002 Game of Life that I just sold and sell similar from that one without looking at what is currently available for sale. So I always go into eBay, start a new search, Game of Life 2002, or Disney Seen It, board game. Just take a quick scroll, look at the sellers, see what it's selling for, get an idea of my price, where I want to go, and then I go to my sold, and then I do a search. I hit Control F, and I search for my seller name. And then I sell similar from there. So yes, I do sell similar from my previous listings because I know that worked. That title worked, that those item specifics worked. I always upload new pictures. The description is always the same unless there's something going on with the game that I need to outline, like a split corner on a box or something like that. Um, or the reverse of that, like sealed game pieces. Um, and then go from there. But I never sell anything without seeing what people are selling stuff for currently, even if it's the next day, because you can have 12 games of life sell in a day, and that knocks out potentially the 12 lowest games of life. Now, your competition can go from a low price of $25 to $28, so you just never know. And that extra $3 just for doing 3 minutes of research, you might as well earn it for yourself. So I don't know. That's where I'm at with listing the replenishable stuff, the stuff that we sell every single day. And we're getting down to it. Hopefully Ashley is almost ready to go because I'd like to get on the road because Baltimore is a good hour and a half away. So now the Goodwills up that way are absolutely terrible. If they have like 4 board games in the store on the shelf, that's a lot. They have more retail product, like like retail bed sheets and like gift bags, sunglasses, readers, socks. They have like aisles and aisles of that stuff, and then like a bunch of racks of clothes, a couple racks of shoes, maybe one half of an aisle of kitchen appliances, a couple of pots and pans, and then like a bunch of mugs, and then like 4 toys and 3 board games, and then that's it. That's their whole store. So they suck, um, which is sad. But we're going up there for the Savers brand stores because it is Tuesday, and Tuesday is discount day. And that'll be a separate video coming out tomorrow. Then I'm going to try on Wednesday to have our weekend sales update, which really didn't have anything go out US now. Oh, interesting. Oh, just one. Just one. All right. Um, yeah, sales update we'll have about 30 items, but nothing crazy. And there she is. Just in time to help carry stuff. So that's all we got. We're done. But We're going to Baltimore. Like, comment, subscribe, all that happy horseshit. We will catch you next time.